Hi guys.
I'm Shauni.
And I'm Mondi. And we've been married for 11 lovely years.
Yes, we just had an anniversary. Woohoo! But today's topic, depression. It can change if you want it to.
That's right. But first, guys, don't forget to hit that notification bell and subscribe.
Yes, indeed. We're going to talk about the topic at hand right after this intro. I love doing that. Okay, guys, depression. It gets better if you want it to, okay? So a lot of people, they are unhappy for a very long time, but don't recognize it as depression or don't want to recognize it as depression,
Sure.
right? I guess because people don't want that title attached. But if you don't understand what a thing is, then how can you change it? Right? See, even with my own depression, in the black community, I don't know nothing about no other community.
Right.
But in the black community, if you tell folks that you're depressed, like if you say I'm depressed, they look at you like you got two heads, child. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, depressed. You know, then they start telling you about what they went through and that. You depressed too. Okay? You depressed too. But don't nobody want to say nothing about it, right?
Yeah.
It was almost like you were not allowed to be sad.
Yeah.
And if you're not allowed to be sad within your own family, then it makes you even sadder,
Yeah.
right? Because now you don't have the space or you don't have the support that you need to get through it.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? So for me, I held it all in and I was angry.
Yeah.
Get what I'm saying? And my sadness came out in anger. You get what I'm saying? From all the traumatic things that had happened to me. Okay? So I bottled it up and I had nobody to talk to, which probably made it worse. Okay? And if you are going through a similar situation, hold on. Help is on the way. We're going to talk to you about some things that help you, because it helped us,
Sure.
to get over that hump of depression.
Yeah.
Well, what about you?
Well, yeah, I went through it too. Depression is a serious thing, especially for guys. Guys really don't acknowledge the fact or even recognize sometimes that they have depression. Just a feeling that comes over and you don't know how to, express it.
Yeah.
And it comes out in different ways. It could come out as anger. It could come out as addiction. It could come out as, sadness.
Yeah.
It could come out as being procrastination, being deemed lazy.
Yeah.
All these things can affect you. And for me, it was like I had so many things that I had not even recognized within myself. Loss,
Yes.
as an adult, loss of a job, or, something that I tied to myself in part of my personality. And I figured that was, that was part of who I was. At least I thought it was.
Right.
And to have it taken away from you is, it's saddening.
Yeah.
It's loss.
Yeah.
Your looks, getting older. Sometimes men, especially.
Child, you look good, child.
Yeah, well,
Anybody want to tell them?
Anyway, you don't have the same looks you had when you were younger.
Yeah,
you
true.
know, the body doesn't look the same. The face doesn't look the same. The hair is graying. The hair is, slowly fading away.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
You don't have the things that made you feel young and virile.
Right.
And it's hard for a lot of guys, which is why a lot of guys dye their beard.
Yes.
Because they want to still hold on to that. That's that youthful look.
Buying Corvettes.
Hey,
Buying Porsches.
I'll buy a Porsche.
You get
Tie my sweater around my shoulders too. Get some driving gloves.
I know you will. I know you will. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times they tie that too when they try to get younger women.
Yes.
Because they feel like that too.
Yes.
Right?
It's
We
part of
discussed.
it's depression. Yeah, it's part of depression.
Yeah.
and you're trying to resolve it in your own way without going through the real root of what's happening to you.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely had it, and we'll share some things of how we overcame it.
Yeah, definitely. And let's do that right now. Okay, number 1, recognize that you do have depression and figure out what triggered it. Okay? Depression is just a series of repetitive bad thoughts that turn your positive energy into negative energy. Okay? And so if you run those thoughts backwards, you can find and you could pinpoint the exact point that you started to feel down or sad about a situation. But the first step is acknowledging. You get what I'm saying? If you acknowledge that you're depressed, then you can say to yourself, look, there is something that's in me that is not right and something that I have to turn around. So if you acknowledge it, you'll be able to get to the point that you can turn the situation around so that you don't have to stay in that place.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Acknowledging, that's a hard part too for
That's
a lot of people.
difficult.
Because they don't want to admit they were depressed or something like that. But you're right, you have to first acknowledge it. You can't change what you don't acknowledge.
Can't change what you don't acknowledge.
Number 2. Now this is maybe hard for some people, but you have to decide that you no longer want to feel this way. And you got to make a decision. That's a thing that you have to do. You can't be indecisive about your feelings when it comes to depression. You got to decide. And then you'll find a way to try to work through it. And in working through it, you'll start to look for light at the end of the tunnel for solutions. And you'll get a sense of like, okay, something's breaking here. But first you have to decide. If you don't decide, then you'll just sit in where you are and you'll wallow and you'll be in that state.
100% true. Okay, number 3, find somebody unbiased to talk to. Okay? And key word in that is unbiased.
Yes.
Okay? Because if you have the type of family that I had, okay, you can't talk about depression. It is just, they make you feel really worse about it, to be honest with you. You get what I'm saying? But I understand, you understand what people's mindsets is a little different. You get what I'm saying? When it comes through different eras and things like that. So it's a little different. So you got to find somebody unbiased to talk to. You got to find somebody that is not connected to you emotionally to talk to. You get what I'm saying? Because I found that when I talk to somebody, well, actually, I didn't talk to anybody unbiased all the time. Therapy, yes. But I also talk to my husband a lot, which is, he's a person that really, truly cared for me and really wanted to see me happy. So he was able to listen unbiasedly. And I learned that I was able to get a lot off of my chest. I was able to talk about a lot of things that had happened to me, a lot of the traumatic things that had happened to me without feeling judged.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? And when I did that, you don't really realize how much you had put back in your mind, like how much you had just taken away from your mind because you had to. That was the reason and the way that you could survive. You had to put it away so that you could move forward, but that doesn't mean that it is no longer there. And that is what causes that depression to come up a lot of times. Things from the past. Anxiety, worrying about things that can happen in the future. Okay? So for me, when I was able to talk about it to a therapist and able to talk about it to my husband, who was a true support system for me, that burden that I carried became lighter. And I became less and less angry.
Number 4, guys. So you have to learn how to replace your negative thoughts with positive thoughts.
Yes.
Now this may seem a little difficult and odd at first because when you're in a state of depression, the negative mental movies and things and scenes keep replaying over and over in your mind, and you don't even realize it that they're going over and over again. But what you have to do is catch yourself. Catch yourself in the moment where you're having a negative thought and replace it with a positive thought. Try to think of something that, that's the opposite of the way you're feeling. And you tell yourself that thing, even if you have to verbalize it out loud.
Yes.
Say it out loud. Hear yourself saying it. And if you do it over and over, you're starting to rewire your mind, rewire your brain, because your brain gets in a loop, just plays over and over again. You have to stop that loop and give it something else. It's going to buck against you every once in a while because it wants to stay in that state sometimes.
Yep.
But you have to rewire your brain and give it something new. And then once you start doing that over and over again, it'll become a habit.
Yeah.
And you will start to take on the state of mind of those words. Mm-hmm. But first, you have to do it. You have to replace it with the positive words.
Absolutely, guys. This helped me a whole bunch. Mm-hmm. Okay? And it was strange.
Yes.
It was weird. Looking in the mirror, I'm having a bad thought or a bad day, and I'm looking in the mirror and I'm catching myself telling myself as I look in the mirror, you are happy, healthy, and wealthy. Mm-hmm. You're happy. It is a great day. Everything is going to go your way. It sounds strange, right? But once you do that rewiring of your brain, you'll come to understand that, whoa, the brain has way more power than I originally thought. You get what I'm saying? If you say it with if you say the positive to replace the negative, eventually you will start replacing those negative thoughts with positive thoughts, which is gonna help you feel better.
Yes,
it really is.
And say it with feeling.
Yeah,
you gotta have feeling behind it. You can't, be all active. I am great. I'm special. No, you gotta have feeling behind it.
Yeah.
And that feeling is what's gonna make you start to take on that sort of feeling.
Attribute.
That same attribute. And you'll start to believe it. And that's the thing, is that you have to say it enough until you believe it. Because at first, you're not gonna believe it.
At first, you're not gonna believe it. At first, you're not. Mm-hmm. But if you say it long enough, the brain seeks one thing and one thing only, and that is pleasure. Mm-hmm. Right? But if you come to a place or you have gone through a lot of things, right? The brain turns into a dark place. Yes. Okay? Here's another thing about the brain. The brain gets comfortable where it is. Yes. And that's how depression is able to stick. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Because it gets comfortable in that space. And like I said in another video, brain doesn't like to be uncomfortable. It doesn't like for you to change things, right? So when you do those positive reinforcements and you do it with feeling, like he says, you're able to retrain the brain and let it do what you want it to do.
That's right.
You ain't finna control me. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, number 5, exercise. Now listen, I know it's hard to do when you're depressed, okay? When you're depressed, you don't want to do a doggone thing. No. I understand this, okay? But do it in a gentle way, and do it with something that you enjoy, like music. Who doesn't like music? Okay? Now your brain in its depressed state is going to tell you to play sad music. Right? But you do the exact opposite of that. You play happy, upbeat music and you start moving your body. Stand up and start moving your body to it, right? And it will eventually, not right away, it's gonna be like, okay, all right, I'm doing it. You know what I mean? But eventually it's gonna start to catch, right? Because exercise, cardiovascular activity boosts endorphins in the brain, and that endorphins is positive feelings that you have. It releases the positive feelings that you have in your body. So exercise is a beautiful thing. Even if you just gotta put on some upbeat music or turn on YouTube and turn on a dance routine, it's gonna make you feel better. It is going to naturally make you feel better. So do it anyway, doggone it.
Exactly. All right, number 6, guys, and this is sort of on the lines of what you were talking about. It's just do something new.
Yeah.
Do something different.
Yeah.
Try something new. Break yourself out of the pattern. You know what I mean?
Or even do something you like.
Oh, something you like. You know, that something that makes you feel good. Whatever that thing was, as long as it doesn't cause harm to yourself or someone else.
Sure.
do something that you like, because you got to drag yourself kicking and screaming if you have to.
Yep.
But you have to.
You must.
You got to do something different, and you'll start to feel different if you start to do it. It's just like she said with the dancing. You start to move. You start to do the things you like. You start to realize it, and those endorphins get released. I don't care if it's shopping. You know, she likes to shop. That releases endorphins.
Oh, yes, indeed.
When she's feeling sad, shopping always helps.
Ding, ding, ding. Pat, pat. Check, 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 check.
But when you start to do that, you'll start to feel more positive and start to feel like, okay, I am feeling a little bit better.
Sure.
And if you got somebody who's a friend or a family member that'll help you in that regard to help you do something, be around that person.
Yeah.
Be around that person. Stick with that person.
Yeah.
Hang around them. Talk to them. If there's a person in your life that makes you feel good positively,
Yeah.
talk to that person, because that's going to help you get out of it. Don't talk to negative people.
Oh, God. I was just about to say that.
Don't do that.
Don't listen to me. Whatsoever you do. Okay? Southern. That's a Southern. Whatsoever you do, don't be around negative people when you're feeling depressed. Good God Almighty.
No.
They will bring you down.
Even further.
Good God. Just stare clear. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, number 7, the final thing that we have for you today is meditate. Okay, here's what I like to say. Prayer is talking to God, but meditation is hearing from God. Okay, but also it helps you to hear those negative thoughts when you're sitting quietly. Okay, with nothing to distract you, and you're focusing on your thoughts, you get to see how negative your thoughts really are. You get what I'm saying? And then you have an opportunity to turn those thoughts around into positive thoughts, right? You might be thinking right now, I'm gonna meditate right now. I'm gonna be like, this stupid here. But at that thought, at that sign, you have to tell yourself, no, it's not stupid. Okay? This is something that I need to do to calm my mind and help me to refocus. Okay? So what you do is turn that whole negative thought around while you're meditating. You'll be amazed that when you're sitting quiet and you're sitting still and you're being present, how many negative thoughts run through your mind and you have no idea. Okay? And then you wonder why you're depressed, because you got a bunch of negative thoughts running through your mind that you don't know nothing about.
Didn't even pay attention to it.
Didn't even pay attention to it, but all of a sudden now you start to feel down. You get what I'm saying? So take those thoughts, take some time to meditate so that you can, let me tell you, and let me just tell you, meditation for me, I'm telling you, it was real hard before, because I thought meditation was just clearing your mind. Okay? That is a part of it, but there's stages to it. You get what I'm saying? The first part of it is just sitting still, being quiet, being present with your own mind, and you getting to see the thoughts that run through your mind. You're getting to witness them firsthand, like you're watching a doggone TV show. Okay? And at that point, you get to understand, ooh, I got a bunch of negative thoughts running through my mind, and you have an opportunity to turn them around in that time space. You get what I'm saying? So meditation is wonderful, and you eventually get to the place where you can clear your mind. You get what I'm saying? And you can get to a space where you're thinking of nothing so that you can be clear and get answers that you need. But meditation is powerful. I'm telling you it right now.
Yes, it is. And I think it's a good place where we should leave it, guys. I hope you heard or felt something that moved you, got something out of this session right here. If you did, drop it in the comments box below. We want to hear from you.
Yes, indeed. And if you could, check us out. Support us at our website, www.urbanwellbred.com.
That's right. And don't forget to like.
And share.
Yes.
Whatever you do.
Whatsoever.
Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button.
Ding.
Until next time.